GM, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday, the 18th of January, and I've got to start the stream by talking about something that has happened overnight for me here in Europe. Might have happened if you're based in the US late last night, but it is Donald Trump launching his own official meme coin and what this actually means for the crypto space, because I think this is one of the biggest developments we've ever seen as an industry. Now, it's interesting because this is something that really impacts not only Bitcoin, but we at these sort of top tier levels of government and finance and conversation, all of the attention up until this point has really been around Bitcoin. Bitcoin being the king, Bitcoin cannot be defeated. Everything else has kind of been like, is it going to stick? Is it going to stay? Is something newer going to come along? Is something better going to come along? You know, these tokens have inflation. There's unlimited inflation when it comes to different altcoins, different meme coins. But now we've actually had a US president launch their own meme coin. Can you just actually sort of take a second to sort of step back and think about what that means, not just for Bitcoin, but for cryptocurrency? This is a massive thing for crypto as a space, meaning beyond Bitcoin, digital assets beyond Bitcoin. We now have a US president that is endorsing cryptocurrency in a huge way by actually launching his own meme coin. So this is huge. I'm still trying to process what this means myself, but my initial thoughts are obviously liquidity is likely been sucked out of meme coins going into the Trump token. We've seen that. It's like, well, if Trump's backing this meme coin, does that mean he doesn't back any other meme coins? But I think over time, over the next few days, over the next few weeks, people will start to realize that actually Trump having his own meme coin is going to bring so much liquidity into cryptocurrency and especially into meme coins as a sector. I think when I've gone back and I've said this is the meme coin super cycle, this really does confirm it absolutely is the meme coin super cycle. And I think if you're holding meme coins right now, I know that the temptation is to panic, is to think, oh no, you know, prices have come down a lot overnight. And of course, you know, Trump's now got his coin. Does that mean all of the other meme coins are just going to go to zero? Not at all. And I actually think it'll be the opposite, because all of a sudden we're seeing things, we're seeing signs in the market. We've seen Solana start to rally really, really aggressively. We've seen Radium start to rally. Why? Because obviously these are cryptocurrencies that are going to be linked to Trump's coin now, because obviously Trump has launched his Trump coin, his official meme coin on Solana. So, and we will likely see that rotation at some point from his meme coin to other meme coins. It gets people into the space. It onboards more retail, more normies, more non-crypto people that are just simply fans of Donald Trump or like Donald Trump. By the way, that is over 50% of the US population, according to the election result. So that's a lot of people, a lot of people. This guy is the biggest influencer, the biggest, the most influential man right now, probably in the world. But between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it's a toss-up. But obviously, Elon's been doing it for a while. Elon's been talking about things like Dogecoin for a while, other cryptocurrencies for a while. Donald Trump, this is the first time, and therefore his effect's going to be even greater because it's the first time this is the one token he's talking about. So let's jump into onto screen share and let's have a look at the charts. And obviously, first, I just wanted to present the official tweet here. So this came out. I was fast asleep by this time, 2:44 a.m. for me here in Europe. My new official Trump meme is here. It's time to celebrate everything we stand for. Winning. Join my very special Trump community. Get your Trump now. Go to gettrumpmemes.com. Have fun. So there were some questions. Has he been hacked? Is this legit? Is this for real? I think by now, obviously, this tweet has been out nearly 12 hours, I think we would know if it was not legit already. So yeah, just massive news. Obviously, the market's trying to process this. Um, we've obviously seen Bitcoin dominance spike today, which is a bit of a surprise, a bit of a surprise reaction, considering this is an endorsement of a meme coin. This is a endorsement of the meme and the altcoin space, not necessarily Bitcoin as an asset. So I do think this comes down. I really do think Bitcoin dominance comes down. And like I say, we're looking right now, we're at 58%. I think we could probably come down to 54% fairly quickly, potential retrace. And then I've actually got targets for Bitcoin dominance over the next few months down towards the sort of 50 to 49% level. I think we can get as low as probably 48% by the start of the summer. So, yes, that is going to spell obviously very positive price action for altcoins. Obviously, Bitcoin today, let's take a look at where we are. We can see the Bitcoin had a really nice push up yesterday. So obviously Donald Trump stealing the limelight on what's been an incredibly bullish week for cryptocurrency, running all the way down, Bitcoin running all the way down to 89,000 and finishing at the end of Friday at 104,000. If we actually look at the Bitcoin futures chart, we can actually see here that Bitcoin has closed the day on Friday up at above 105,000, and the weekly Bitcoin chart is on its highest ever closing weekly candle. So that is huge. That is absolutely huge, and it's impossible not to be bullish. And yeah, it feels good. It feels good to have said, obviously, sort of way back here that I didn't see when this market pulls back, it going below sort of 88, 89,000. I was pretty vocal about that on this channel, that I was hoping or expecting us to hold this ascending trend line, wanting to see that hold. That's what happened. Talked about a flush below that trend line to catch some liquidity, initiate some short orders, take out some stops. That's exactly what we've seen. I'm really proud of the calls that have been made here. And like I say, from here, just be a little bit careful. We've had a very fast run up. We could now see some sort of pullback. We're definitely in that period of sort of max sort of hype and euphoria. Obviously, Trump coming into office in a couple of days, looks like that has been front run now. So we front run that in Bitcoin. Obviously, altcoins tell a slightly different picture, with the exception of one or two, which I will look at now. So Bitcoin's looking good here. Like I say, we could still see a pullback down to around about sort of 96, 97,000, maybe catching the liquidity below this ascending trend line. That will be an opportunity. That will be a level that I'll be looking to attack quite heavily. And really, I will be starting to layer into things on this dip, layering into a sort of larger Bitcoin long and looking to layer in on altcoins. I've talked about Ethereum as a trade. I've talked about Solana as a trade. We'll go to those next. Let's just check out the liquidation heat map first. Actually, this is the funding rate heat map. So I wanted to look at the funding rate with you, and we can see we've got Fartcoin showing some positive funding. So interesting there. Potentially some of these AI agents need to cool off a little bit more. But as for the rest of the market, the rest of the market is completely deleveraged and completely healthy, completely normal. Nothing to be concerned about whatsoever. And if we sort of just look at the past year, we've really seen a full year now of low funding rates when this actually wants to load up. Um, we have to go all the way back to sort of early March of last year, the last time this market got overheated. And then obviously we saw the market go into a long sort of corrective period. But right now, I mean, there's nothing really here that suggests that we need to be concerned at all. Things got a little, I don't really want to say overheated. It wasn't that overheated, but things started to warm up a little bit early December. And then obviously we saw the big flush out over December. Obviously, we've been correcting for the last month, so things are looking fine from a sort of funding rate perspective. Definitely not overheated, despite things starting to push up close back to the all-time high. So that's very, very healthy. Shows that we have a bit more juice in the tank potentially. And just looking at the liquidation heat map as well here, when it wants to load up, we can see we do have liquidity below the price here. So this would suggest that Bitcoin is likely to come a little bit lower, maybe over the weekend. Certainly, I expect it probably to tag this fairly soon. So that would take us down to around about sort of 92, 90, 91 and a half. Maybe we come as low as about, sorry, not 91, 100 and 102, 100 and 101 and a half, down potentially to 101,000. So yeah, potentially we've got a little bit of short-term downside that could come into the market over the next 48 hours. And what that would do in terms of price would really sort of take us back down towards the high from Wednesday. And I'd be looking at, bulls to kind of step in and defend the certainly the 100K area, maybe the 101,000 area. We just dropped down to, for our chart, we can see that we might come back in and sort of trade back into this area here. So really as low as 100,000, as long as we continue to hold that 100,000 as the low, then that'll just be a higher low, obviously in a series of higher lows. Like I say, sort of in terms of a sort of daily outlook, in terms of us putting in a higher low, we could come down as low as, like I say, I think 96 to 97 is a key level that I will be looking to probably position in on. So that's Bitcoin. Let's go over to the fun stuff, the altcoins, and we can see Ethereum showing some weakness today. So Ethereum really looking weak, which I think has caught me on a bit of a surprise. I was expecting Ethereum to be a fair bit stronger than this. Obviously, after what has been such a big endorsement of the altcoin space by Donald Trump. So really nothing's changed on Ethereum. We can still expect to see potentially another sort of move down towards 3,100. Anything above the previous wick is going to be a higher low, which is what we want to see. And then we'll be looking to break out from this descending trend line and start to get back above some of these sort of key levels. And I do think Ethereum makes its way higher over the next month. Any dips on Ethereum, I'm looking to add to positions on. So anything down to about 3,100 will be fine for me. And then looking obviously to catch that move back up to 4,000 and hold the majority of those positions throughout the breakout. So Ethereum just really sort of consolidating and cooling off a bit here. Nothing really to worry about. Solana showing some major relative strength today, up to $240. So obviously Solana has been impacted by the Donald Trump news. Trump launching his coin on the Solana chain, Solana being the chain of choice for Trump's official meme coin. So this is extremely bullish for Solana. Obviously, it's an endorsement of crypto, but it's an even bigger endorsement of Solana. And it's hard to see Solana not going higher and making new all-time highs very, very soon. It's probable that we do see some sort of pullback on Solana, maybe down to the sort of 220, down as low. We could come, down as low as 205. If this market really sort of turned around and took a dump here, then that's probably the level I'd be targeting on Solana. I think Bitcoin into the mid 60s, probably see Solana come down to 205. Ethereum, like I say, potentially down as low as 3,100 or even back to around 3,000 if, like I say, the market really starts to roll over. But potentially at that point, we might see Ethereum sort of come down a little bit less, show a little bit of relative strength. I think it really does at some point soon. But yeah, just finishing off on Solana, then really strong move, and I'm just holding my positions here. I mean, you'd expect this pullback, but anything can happen. So I think worst case scenario, we come back down to about 205. More likely, maybe down to 220 at some point. This probably happens over the next week, and then we see that sort of expansion to the upside. And it's a it's a hot narrative. It's very very hard to fade the momentum when crypto starts going, especially after things have reset and things are looking healthy in terms of the leverage and the funding, and we've come off like what is over a 1 month, close to a 2 month correction now. Pepe breaking through the descending trend line, then coming back in for the retest. I did talk about looking to buy on a retest. That is what we're seeing this morning. So yes, we've seen that retest. Now I'll be looking for Pepe to obviously hold this breakout and start to mark up from here. And like I say, I think Pepe as a meme coin will be one of the largest benefactors of Trump launching his own token. I do think at some point people get into this space, people might buy the Trump coin, and then they'll say, right, this is great. What do I buy next? What could actually give me a better return? And I think the first thing they will probably look to is going to be Pepe. Obviously, Pepe has some association already to Donald Trump, and I think it's been the biggest meme in cryptocurrency. It probably is the one that people will look at. Obviously, your Pepe's, your Doges, your Shibas. But obviously, Pepe being a significantly lower market cap than Doge and Shiba Inu, I think it has a lot more upside to run, and that's why we cover it as one of the majors on this channel. So, obviously, let's just wrap things up by taking a quick look at traditional markets. We see the dollar closing the week fairly strong here. So obviously still in an uptrend until it isn't. I am expecting at some point the dollar to start to reverse. Obviously, we've got a bit of an indecision candle here on the weekly. So, but obviously a long sort of wick below, which does indicate some strength coming in on the long side. So still definitely not out of the woods in terms of dollar strength yet, but looking for a reversal shortly. And we see the stock market. So Nasdaq has pretty much closed on its descending trend line that we said it needs to break to go bullish. So potentially we see a breakout from here on Monday, and the S&P as well, I think, has taken its one out already. Yeah, it's closed above. So breakout confirmed by closing the week above this descending trend line. Obviously easier to see on the daily, provided we hold above this trend line over the next week. I really think the S&P moves to new all-time highs over the next month. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. Obviously, just to recap on Bitcoin, then we've got some short-term liquidations down to around about $1,100. So in the short term, potentially we could see Bitcoin show a bit of weakness and sort of lose the current low and potentially come down to around about 101,000 to 100,000. I think any low around there is probably good as support. Potentially we see a bit more strength, or we see the market hold up until the Trump inauguration. Then maybe next week we see a sort of sell the news event where we come as low as around sort of 96, 97,000. That's my sort of best sort of guess at the moment. But obviously it's an exciting time. Crypto getting a huge endorsement today, or the early hours of today anyway, last night, depending where you are from, arguably the most influential man in the world. So, yes, I've kept on saying this. The approach is to buy on dips. I think we go higher over the next month. I think come the end of February, we will be at new all-time highs for Bitcoin, probably Solana as well. Ethereum likely well on its way there. So, yeah, just stick with it. Embrace the volatility. I think there's no need to sort of chase pumps or chase moves. Just wait for things to come to you in this market right now. And like I say, I still think we will have a opportunity over the next few days to add to positions at slightly lower prices. And I'll be here, sort of daily videos every step of the way, keep you informed, give you my thoughts. And yeah, I have to say this, but if you do like the content, please think about smashing the like, making a comment, hitting subscribe. Really appreciate the engagement. I have now hit 500 subscribers on the channel. So even though it's a small number and it's absolutely nothing compared to other channels out there, for me, it's a fairly big thing. So I'm pretty happy with that. So thank you if you are subscribed. I really do appreciate it. I will be coming out with a video, hopefully later today, an update on AI coins. There were a couple of requests I got on my last AI video, I think WorldCoin and TARS. So I want to cover those. I want to take a look at the AI agents because they've had a bit of a sell-off. So that'll be sort of like an AI slash AI agent meme coin update, not meme coin, altcoin update. So I'll probably cover the AI memes as well. It will just be a complete AI crypto video. So I'll work on that later today. In the meantime, have a fantastic day. Enjoy the weekends, and yeah, stay tuned. I'll be back with you all again very soon. Okay, bye for now. And GM, GM, GM.